So welcome back. Thank you for doing a good job on your cultural analysis and your economic analysis. Those are going to come in big handy this week. So this week you're going to make a go, no-go assessment for the Hostess company, who in 2012 and 2013 had to declare all sorts of bankruptcies and corporate restructuring, and ended up with one of their 4 manufacturing plants in Columbus, Georgia. So I have put a number of videos up here for you. The first is Twinkie and Ho-Ho's and Ding Dong's manufacturing, just so you can see how in Columbus how they're making these things. And if you go to the Hostess website, you'll see probably the kinds of products you've either eaten before or are familiar with from commercials and that kind of thing. So the Hostess Twinkie and the Ding Dong are the ones that we're going to look at. And you can read about the company if you'd like. Hostess is actually located, if you've ever been to Columbus, Georgia, and you were anywhere near the National Civil War Naval Museum or the Coca-Cola Space Museum, which are right up along the Riverwalk up here. This is the Coca-Cola Space Museum and the National Civil War. Hostess is just south of there, right along the river. So you've probably driven right past their factory before. So this week, you're going to make a go, no-go assessment. And I put a video up here from the movie Apollo 13, and they just go through the steps that they determine make it safe or not for the rocket to launch. And if anybody says no go, then they just abort the mission and they don't fire the rocket. But if everybody says go, everything looks good, then they end up shooting the rocket. The metaphor is that in your case, you're either sending the shipment of product to another country or you're not, and you're going to have to go through a number of steps to determine whether or not that's a good idea. You're going to be looking at things like hazards in shipping, and your task is to send one shipping container of this stuff. So on this barge on the video here attached, you'll see a whole bunch of different shipping containers, and you can just imagine that you're going to have one of those shipping containers full. This link right here takes you to a shipping cost calculator, which will look a lot like this, in which you can pick a box or crate or pallet, or else a container and FCL measurement, and probably you're looking for the 40-foot, and you type in where you want to start from. You can try Columbus or you can try Atlanta, Georgia, and they have a number of different ones from the airport and nearby there. And then you put in the country where it's headed. So in this case we could say Freeport, and just go with the first one. If that's the right Freeport, then you click Get Right Estimate, and it's going to show you that it's going to cost anywhere between $2,300 and $4,100, around 3 or 4 days for a 40-foot container to be shipped from Georgia to Freeport. So that's what that link does. Okay. You got 2 assignments. Your first is to go through and answer all these questions about what you see in Amazon or a store that's whatever you can see online, for what's being sold, possibly legally or illegally in another country, if somebody is smuggling some Twinkies. And then you're going to go through all these steps like complexities and what's the route that it's going to take, what does the shipping look like, what are some threats once the container arrives, how is geography going to impact things, how would you distribute the cakes once you get there, what media would you use, how many boxes or individual cakes do you expect to be able to sell, how quickly, and what steps would you expect to go through for all your government, things like tariffs and taxes and checkpoints, things like that, any documentation you can find out about. And then I want you to draw a logo that makes sense for the local market, and pick a name that makes sense for the local market based on your research. And then ultimately, number 12 is to come up with a go, no-go assessment. Okay. So once you have that go, no-go, you go back to the forum, and this is just going to be from Apollo 13 again. It's just the beginning part. I want you to say overall what was your go, no-go choice, and then you're going to do sort of like the SWOT analysis. The SWOT is strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats of that idea, and then explain why you ultimately decided to either go forward with the idea or to do a no-go and abort the mission of selling the hostess abroad. So keep in mind that you're using your country-specific research to answer these questions. And if you type in like Amazon UK, you can see up here, this is just Amazon for the United States. If we look for like Amazon UK, it will show a different Amazon. And I just did a simple search. I looked for hostess. So we can see they are selling hostess, like on the UK version. And that's fine. It's okay if they're already selling the stuff there. I just want you to explain to me how you would move a box of it from around the Columbus or Atlanta area to your foreign market, and then go through and answer the questions if you had to do this yourself. So if it hasn't been done already, it's still the same assignment. You don't have to worry. Just pick a, look on Amazon or look on a big foreign, if they have something like eBay, or if there's a large retailer for groceries and that kind of thing in that country. Just find that website, look up hostess, and see what's there. They might have competitors, and you can just sort of identify what that competition looks like. One of your questions is to answer that. So if they sell things that look really similar, then just identify that. Let's see, what else do? We got it all. I think we're good. So now it's to you guys. Please make sure that you are posting on the forum early enough for everyone else to be able to respond by Sunday at 11 p.m. And if you need any help, please just email me at bhunter1@lagrange.edu. Thank you.